Welcome back, Watchmen. Let's analyze. Fourth day of green ink brings the chart to the foot of a high plateau. It is here that we encountered the 75 shields, a line of resistance that refused to buckle under pressure. The atmosphere remains tense as the advance has slowed against this heavy defensive formation. The day's watch began in the deep pre-market hours as the chart opened at a modest elevation, quickly slipping, however, towards the sub-70-cent floor, where it found its first footing shortly thereafter. Before the sun crested the horizon, a brief advance towards the 73-cent mark was repelled, causing a slow fade into the morning bell. At the opening chime, the price stood slightly higher for just a bit, before a swift bear trap flush tested the lower ramparts. As the morning progressed, an initial thrust towards the 73-cent level was turned back, forcing buyers to regroup at a mid-range base during the late morning to maintain their upward trajectory. Mid-morning saw the first assault on the 75-cent boundary, though the strike failed and forced a retreat to the 73-cent line. A second attempt at the wall was broken just before noon. A shallow consolidation at 74 provided the base for a third failed charge at high noon. The energy drained from the field afterwards, and price dipped to the 72-cent support, followed by a minor rejection at 73 within the following hour. After a second test of the 72-cent floor in the mid-afternoon, a fourth and final effort to shatter the 75 shields was mounted late in the session. The rejection was absolute, and price surrendered the ground, fading into the closing bell to rest at 73.5 cents. While the chart remained locked in a tactical stalemate, the company's diplomats moved across the map. The XRP presentation concluded today, serving as the first of several planned engagements for the company. New dispatches received today confirm that the mission is expanding, with upcoming presentations scheduled for London and Zurich. The focus of the command is shifting towards these distant territories as the local battle rages on. 4 days of green have led us into a meat grinder. The 75 shields stand, and the volume suggests that the real battle has not yet begun. Well, let's move to the window and view the charts on the battlefield. Alright, we can start here on the daily. You can see this nice little, let me move this arrow out of the way. Nice little green candle, fourth in a row. It opened and closed above that 50-day MA. Very technical, bullish sign. And but I have trust issues from this trading this stock. And you see the last time we got 4 in a row, 1, 2, 3, 4. We lost quite a bit afterwards. The time before that we got 4 in a row, 1, 2, 3, 4. We got a fifth candle that this is the first time we touched that 50-day MA, and we got rejected pretty hard. So I don't know. It just doesn't turn out well with us if we try and use past statistics. But that being said, it is a technical, bullish stack up of events. So I mean, we could very well see a nice day tomorrow. Let's dive a little deeper to the hourly. Let's put this arrow back before we do. That's I'm gonna toot my own horn a little bit. This was my prediction arrow from Thursday. Didn't quite go the way that I thought it was going to go, but it ended up in pretty much the same spot. Get that out of here. Get back to what we're talking about. So we opened and closed above this 50-day. We did not, technically didn't even test it. We didn't touch it. We went up and came down just a little bit and went back up. Gives the nice little green candle we saw on the daily, and we still have this little zone that's still not tested below us. So this is looking real good. There's nothing above us all the way up until $1. If we get even the 100-day is still sitting at 103. So we really have no technical resistance here all the way up until we get back to $1. But you better believe it's not going to be an easy one to break. There's definitely going to be a lot of sell orders sitting up there. Alright, let's go ahead and dive a little deeper and honor the candle of the day. Today's candle, the winner is going to the opening candle. Oh no, not a red candle. Why are you picking a red candle? Because this red candle is not really red. If you think this candle was red, then he fooled you too. He did his job very well. This is the bear trap candle. This is the one that said, hey bears, come on, let's sell, it's data vault. Let's jump on board, everybody sell. And then it got fooled. And everybody that got on board with that was trapped instantly. So, good job to you, Candleman. Keep up the good work. Now, let's zoom out just a little bit and do the forecast before we venture to the foreign lands. Got some exciting things happening in the foreign lands. Let's go. Let's say, okay, so here is our 50-day, and given our momentum, I think that we're going to likely see one of two scenarios. One, we're either momentum's going to continue. We'll probably get a little drop during pre. We'll open somewhere around this where the MA is, and we'll bounce from there, doing something similar to this. Maybe we'll even get up to like 81. Probably a sub 80% close. Not too crazy, but you know. The other situation is that we'll get a little climb during after hours and open up a little higher, and then the law of averages catches up with us and we get our first little red day. We drop down here to this demand down here and maybe do something like this. Just because we have 4 green days in a row, I imagine we have a higher chance of having our red day. And we want to have it sooner rather than later. You know, if that's how it's going to go, we want to just get it out the way. But yeah, that's the forecast for DVLT. We can go ahead and move into the foreign lands. First, we'll check out some of our other tickers. I closed out my PMNT this morning, and you can see as soon as I did, it shot up here to past the second private target, almost to the third. You know, c'est la vie, whatever. I'm not chasing. I'm not upset. I got my little bit of money out of it. We'll look at. I'll show you that on my trading journal in just a minute. All right, so that's what happened with that one. Anybody that's still in it, congratulations. You got up here. You know, do what you just make sure you're managing your stop. And keep that risk management going. I also closed out AGPU at right at the second profit target at 420. I'll show you guys that too. It's in the trading journal. So yeah, it's too much sideways action for me, and I wanted to free the capital up to get into some of these other trades that I have lined up. So I just closed it out at the second profit target. So now we'll move on to, I added these on last week on Thursday. Visionary is not, they haven't fallen quite far enough into the entrance yet, but they haven't really bounced either, so I'm still watching this one. This order's still sitting here valid. I'm waiting on this. And with Citus, I had to adjust because Citus there was no pullback, so they just kind of consolidated here overnight and in the pre-market and then shot back up. And it broke this other supply zone that was up here. So I drew another demand down here, and so now my plans change for this trade. I'm going to go ahead and take this zone, and you can see that'll be a $3.10 entrance with a $2.90 stop. And then got my profit targets at 331, 352, 373, with a 396 up at the top. So we'll see how that goes. Keep my eyes on the Sidus here, Sidus space. What is this missing? This is today's entry. We're gonna put this on, I don't even know how to pronounce this, PFSA, whatever. They produce medical equipment, some kind of specialized medical equipment. Alright, so they had a nice little run. All of this was overnight and pre-market, this run here. And I normally wouldn't mark zones that happened during pre-market, but this one it had a nice solid formation, and it was a decent amount of volume, considering this is the pre-market. For this to be the highest volume candle of the day, that's saying something. Somebody was buying this, and so that gave me enough conviction to put a zone here. Now, that being said, we can see that during after hours prices heading back down towards the entry level. Let's go ahead and zoom in to the 15. You can see it a little better here. Right, so this is a 7-to-1 risk to reward. I got my entrance at 143 and my stop at 132, with profit targets at 170, 198, and 225. I wonder, did I mess any of that up? Alright, so looking here, we can see on the trading journal where I closed out all of my PMNT position at the first take profit level, and so that gave me an increase of 575. Trade cost me 500. Closed everything out for 575. It's not a huge win. Don't need to be a huge win. Just needs to be a bunch of small wins. A bunch of small wins add up the same way as a couple of big wins. So we take that 575 and add it to the 391 that I had over here, and then since we closed out the rest of this AGPU position, that one cost me 128, and I pulled 167 out of it, so that's 30% right there. So you got 30% and 15%. So I mean, you're pulling, if you can consistently pull these trades, and you know, people are like, oh, a lot of people are going to see my strategy as time goes. Y'all are going to see it. You're like, oh, a lot of your entries don't get hit. Yeah, they're right. They don't. They just sure don't. But the thing I tell people is that any entry, that a trade that you don't take is a trade that you're guaranteed not to lose. Alright, if you don't take the trade, you can't lose on it. Now, the opposite's also true. If you don't take the trade, you can't win on it. But it's another thing that y'all have to just see as time goes by when we do these foreign lands bits. The way that mine's set up is that when my entries do hit, they hit pretty much perfectly, and they go exactly where I expect them to, and it's enough to cover the dry spells where I get a bunch of trades in a row that don't hit, you know. And I set my stop so tight that when I lose on when my entry fails, which happens, you know, of course it's going to happen, but it doesn't screw me out of being able to continue my trading. It's all part of risk management. You gotta stay disciplined, make that plan, and stick to it. And now with that, we can go ahead and close out the session. Go ahead and remember to smash that like button and ring the closing bell to subscribe. Let's keep our eyes on the horizon, see what the future's going to bring us. as far as these speeches that Nate's given around the world. And let's maintain vigilance at all times. Until the end of all things, the Night Watch stands forever.